Welcome viewers. Today we are going to talk about situation reaction test in the SSB interview. In short, this test is also called SRT and there are many myths. So today I am going to bust a few myths of SRT so that all of you can do much better in this test. The first one is that we should take this situation as in all seriousness. This is actually a myth. You should take the situation the way it has been written. Let's take an example SRT. You are in a boat with your mother and father. Both your mother and father do not know swimming. You know swimming. Both of them fall in water. What will you do in this situation? Now here, it is not written that you are in a boat in a lake or in a river. Please do not take the situation as fast flowing river. Rather take a situation where it is a normal boating in a river. And at the same time, do not take a situation where all three of you are wearing a life jacket, because if you were wearing life jacket, certainly it wouldn't be a threat at all, and then they wouldn't write they don't know swimming, that is your mother and father don't know swimming, you know swimming. They wouldn't have written this particular sentence in the SRT, and hence the answer should be that I will jump, make my mother hold the boat, swim, make my father hold the boat, and then pull them up. That's it. Let me take another example. Two situations. How the wording make these two situations totally different. The first one. You see an accident between a scooterist and a cyclist. The cyclist is injured. What will you do in this situation? Here the words do not show a very serious accident. But if the same SRT is written this way, you see an accident between a scooterist and a cyclist, and the cyclist is badly injured, it's a serious accident. However, in both the SRTs, you will be giving them first aid and taking them to hospital. Now, it does not mean that the answer would be exactly the same. So I think that the first myth, that how serious we have to take the situation, is that you should see the words in their proper appropriateness. The second myth, that we should complete all the SRTs. Yes, there should be an endeavor by every candidate that he should or she should be able to complete as many SRTs as possible. At the same time, please complete more than 40 SRT in the SSB interview psychological test. However, do not complete in a manner that it looks like you have just written a few words. For example, I'll take a situation. You see two men molesting a woman on a lonely street in middle of night. If you're going to write answer of this SRT, I will help the woman. Now, the answer is correct. However, this is not the way you are going to complete all 60 SRTs. The completeness does not matter. It is the quality of the answer that matters. For example, now in this SRT, an appropriate answer should have been that with a stone or a stick, I will hit one of the molester and overpower the other, call police on mobile and hand them over to police. That is an appropriate answer. One more myth, that marks are given in the SRT. No marks are given in the SRT. Your OLQs have been assessed through TAT, that is story writing test, and through WAT, that is word association test, which have happened before the SRT. And therefore the psychologist is going to read your stories first, then he is going to read your WAT. Now he is going to fine tune the level of OLQs that he has seen through your stories and through your sentences of the WAT test. And therefore SRT just helps the psychologist to fine tune the level of all 15 OLQs that he has already observed. When I say level, I am talking about which OLQ is up or down in the spectrum that he has observed during the stories and WATs. Okay, let's talk about one more myth, that we have to write all the answers in Hindi only or English only. No. You be quick in your responses. The better your communication skills in the answer, better you will be judged. Okay, let's come to another part. How should we practice for SRT? You can read my book, Best Book on SSB Interview. I will be giving the link to buy this book in the description down below the video. Read the SRT section and initially solve the SRT taking more time than 30 seconds. That means solve SRT taking more time. Once you start getting the hang of solving SRT, then start reducing the time. And when you have solved about 100 to 200 SRTs, I think then, depending on your caliber, each one of you should take 60 SRTs and then try to do them in 30 minutes, because this is the amount of time that you are going to get in the SSB interview during the actual test of SRT. Now let me also come to repeater candidates. There are some candidates who do not get selected or recommended in the first attempt. What should they do? Do not base your answers on the previously done answers. I would say go to a good coaching academy, go to a good mentor. Let him see what are the mistakes that you're doing in solving the SRTs. Once you have been given proper guidance, thereafter start solving the SRTs again. Do not memorize the answers. Now let's come to another myth, that we should take not more than 30 seconds to solve each and every SRT. There will be some SRTs which will be much simpler than the others. That means there will be some SRT with higher degree of difficulty. And therefore, when you are solving the 60 situation given to you in the question booklet in the SRT, the simpler ones should be completed much faster than the difficult ones. And if you go by this and practice at home, then you will be able to do this test in SSB much better. Now let me talk about how should repeater candidates solve the SRT. The repeater candidates are not aware whether they failed in psychological test in their last attempt, or they failed in their interview in the last attempt, or they failed in the GTO test in their last attempt. And therefore, my suggestion to them would be, if you have not come in merit or you have not got recommended in your last SSB, please come to me or to any other good mentor, and under his guidance solve all the test. He will guide you that where were you going wrong. Now practice SRTs or any other test in slow time. That is, please do not solve SRT in 30 seconds each. After you have attained certain amount of efficiency, thereafter you can start solving SRTs in lesser time. Also, women candidates ask me that, sir, should my response should be similar to a response by a male candidate? The answer is no. Women candidates' response cannot be similar to a response by a male candidate, because you are different. Your physical attributes are different. However, if a woman candidate is a taekwondo player or is a martial art expert, she can write a similar answer to that of a male candidate. Let me take an example situation. Suppose the situation is that you are coming back to your home, it is middle of night, you are on a lonely street, a man is following you. What will you do in this situation? A male candidate may write, I will not bother about the man and continue towards my home. A woman candidate, if she is not a taekwondo expert or a martial art expert, she should write that I'll take out my pepper spray and run towards my home. If she is a martial art expert or has very good physical attributes, she can write, I will continue not bothering about the man who is following me. And therefore, the responses are dependent on your intelligence, attributes, etc. Remember, the psychologist has your PIQ form, that is Personal Information Questionnaire, in which he will go through what is your height, what is your weight, which all sports you have played, what is the proficiency in these sports, and therefore if we are not very good physically, then we cannot write a response similar to a male candidate. I think with that I will end this video. If you have any questions, you can WhatsApp me or contact me on my phone. Thank you.